Wait for it. Wait for it, and we're live. Hey, all you crazy sci-fi and fantasy fans. It's time for your daily dose of shenanigans over here at the Blasters and Blades podcast. Just a couple nerdy veterans, a savvy chaos coordinator, and one chief shenanigator geeking out over our science fiction passions and fantastical fantasies. A place where magic is king, the sky is the limit, and space is the place. We are the podcast that puts the fun in dysfunction. So without further ado, we're going to let our guests introduce themselves to our listeners and viewers at home, starting with the legendary Mr. Aaron of Big Water Outdoors fame.
Hey guys, we're here in sunny San Diego and going to talk about a really cool movie that I used to love watching a lot growing up.
Absolutely. Next, we have the mini personalities of Jenna S. Brown.
Hi, all. I'm Jenna S. Brown. I write under the pen name Jenna Ray. That's where all the urban fantasy, science fiction, and anything else speculative-ish belongs. And I am the chief shenanigator around here, which is kind of like being a den mother. I'm halfway between being nice to each other and herding cats.
I don't know if herding cats is the best analog since they're not really nice to each other.
I know, that's why it's fun. You're not really nice to each other either.
Yes, but we do it with love. With love.
So do cats. I own two of them, and they bite each other and claw each other with a great deal of love and feeling and emotion.
All right, next we have the War Mistress herself, Miss Melissa McShane of War Master fame.
Hi, I'm Melissa McShane. I'm the author of many, many fantasy books of various types, including the lit RPG series War Master. Not War Hamster, thanks, JR.
You're welcome.
And I love this movie, and I am excited to talk about it.
Absolutely. Speaking of this movie, when I saw that there was a black and white version of this that predates it, I knew we'd have to carve out time on Stabby's busy schedule because that's right up her alley, and get her on for that one, Nick. She's being voluntold.
Got it.
I know it's going to break her heart to watch another horror flick.
Oh, no.
I know, right? That one, according to the reviews, that one was more horror than the Mummy that we watched. Obviously, was.
It is.
So,
Yeah.
Next we have Mr. Jacob McShane, who wants you to buy all of his wife's books so she can, buy an extra copy.
and keep me to the lifestyle to which I like to become accustomed.
I mean, dice ain't cheap,
That's right.
Well, they are, but that's with the fun.
So, do you guys use virtual dice since you guys meet up on virtual tabletops, or do you still roll real ones?
Yeah, sadly, but I've almost completely converted into digital. So digital tokens. So instead of the minis, but so the dice and the minis are just fun fidget toys these days.
There's something satisfying about holding the dice in your hand and being able to blow on them before you throw them, and know that no matter what you do, it's still going to roll up ones.
Well.
But you do get all the really cool effects ones. You are the most
I
likely
do
among our
that.
graving group to have dice that glow and spin and sparkle and do things.
Yeah.
Guilty as charged. Digital assets, they have my number.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. And last, we have the overworked and underpaid man who boss won't let him come on the show often enough, Mr. Nick Garber.
Yay.
Yeah, well, they kind of made me a boss now, so I'm really overworked and underpaid.
Ooh.
Oh my.
Wow.
And if
Yeah,
his boss
got
asks him at the dentist.
I'm at the dentist, yeah. I'm at the motor pool. Nick Garber, president of Apogee Comics. I create and distribute my own line of comic books like the Phantom Hawk, Bengali, Solarium Prime, Crimson Guardians, Regent, and there's probably some more that are coming out that I can't remember because that's all I do is go to work and then create comic books. And I am also in San Diego, Aaron.
Nice. Well, when I get the trailer registered, we'll have to go down to Mission Bay and get you out on the water. If Stabby's Town will let
I'm
you
on
away
the water
from
all
the
the time.
Well, cool. We'll take your boat then. It's a lot faster.
Wait, are you allowed to take those out on the? Are you allowed to take your boats out if you check them out on your own, like MWR style?
No.
No. What's the fun in that?
You're not gonna let me just check out a $250,000 boat.
I mean, you never know; it could happen. So, All righty then. So the religion question of all religion questions we are going to ask today, because we are civilized human beings here at the Blasters and Blaze podcast. We are no longer knuckle dragging troglodytes. So I'm going to ask you, coffee or tea, or what do you drink when you're watching a nice movie, Aaron?
I was drinking a Mexican Coke that comes in the glass liter bottle while eating fish tacos from Saturday's fishing trip.
Oh,
Nice.
The standard.
oh, look at
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I'm the guy in the middle.
Oh,
That's my buddy Cal on the far right. He was Navy corpsman for a bunch of years, and then my buddy Casey just started fishing last year. He actually won the jackpot and got his trip paid for because that red fish he's holding was the heaviest fish caught that day.
nice.
Nice.
I
And
don't
he
think I've
was
ever
a
seen a
Top
red
Scout for
fish
a couple
like that.
years.
I don't think I've ever seen a redfish like that. Is that like a West Coast thing?
Yes, those they're called rock cod. They're not actually a cod species, but we
Yeah.
were dropping between 200 and 300 feet deep. So when you get down that deep, you can't see red anymore, and red becomes black. So they're red, so they can hide in the rocks better and not get eaten.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
They look cool and big by comparison. How much do those weigh?
So the one that Casey's holding on the far left, that was a 5-pound vermilion rockfish, and then let's see, zoom in. In his left hand is a ocean whitefish. I'm holding a Boccaccio. We also call those salmon grouper. And I'm also holding an ocean whitefish. And then Cal has 2 vermilions. Or no, the one in his right hand is a chili pepper, or a Mexican rockfish or a chili pepper, and then the other one's a vermilion.
Wow.
Nice. Do they put up a lot of a fight as far as fish go?
No, they're kind of boring because their swim bladders expand from the pressure change. They get the bends. So the ocean whitefish, they don't get the bends that bad. So like they were fighting all the way up, but like the Boccaccio and the reds, their swim bladders will expand when you bring them up. So halfway up, they stop getting heavy and they get light because they're starting to float up as you're reeling them in.
Ooh, convenient when you want to eat them, though.
They taste really good. The only fish that I found that makes a better fish taco is it's called the California scorpion fish, or also known as sculpin. So if you ever had the Ballast Point beer, the fish that's on that beer can is a scorpion fish or sculpin, and they make the best fish tacos.
Okay.
Sculpin is awesome.
All righty then. All right. Next, we have the one, the only Jenna S. Brown, who sometimes cosplays as Jenna Ray. What are you drinking when you're watching movies?
Well, okay, I'm always drinking Diet Dr. Pepper, and I'm so very, very excited they brought back the cans, the blue cans of coconut Diet Dr. Pepper that they took away from me for months and months. It's back as a spring and summer at least thing, and there was much rejoicing, and I saw them in the store, and I called my husband, and he said, buy the entire pallet, just fit it in the car some way or another. I did not, because that would have been rude to other people who wanted some, but we did buy 8. And that was very, very exciting. But I do have another drink that I found that I've been drinking this week, and it's a ginger beer, and it's a ginger beer that Jake and Melissa would like. It's from Gosling's, which is back east. They're actually a winery, and that's most of what they do, but this is their non-alcoholic offering. And it's this really, really lovely ginger beer. It's got a nice bite to it. But then we found they also make a kind that it's ginger beer, but it has peach and lemon in it. So it's a peach lemon ginger beer, and that is my new favorite as far as ginger beers go, because it's still got some nice sharpness to it, but the peach and the lemon is really, really good. So if I'm not drinking my Diet Dr. Pepper, I'll have one of those.
Okay. What about you, Melissa? What are you drinking when you're watching movies over there in India?
Well, it is always Coca-Cola, and over here, all Coke is Mexican Coke in the sense of being made with real sugar. So it's got a great flavor. And it's not, as nasty as all the artificial stuff that goes in. So, it's Coca-Cola. Sadly, they come in either really small portions or really big portions. And so there's no middle ground. I either end up drinking 2 of the little ones or not finishing the 750 milliliter bottle, which is just, it's too big. But they have no half liter option. I don't know why.
What about you, Jacob?
Diet Coke. Or Coke. But Diet Coke usually.
Adventurous, I can see that.
I know. I eat the same breakfast. I drink the same drink. Whatever.
Now, your ice maker, Melissa, does it make the really good, like, Chick-fil-A smooth scoop rice, or the ones you get like at Sonic?
I don't know, because I haven't been to either of those recently. It makes little bullets. It's got options for large and small, and I like the small ones better. But the bullets are maybe a little over an inch long, and they're like bullets. They're hollow. Well, bullets aren't hollow on the inside, but they're shaped, the same way. And then they have the little hole inside where it sat on the spike to be formed.
The ones that like Chick-fil-A and Sonic have, they're almost little BB pellet size.
Okay. Yeah, no, these are bigger than that, which is good because they would melt really fast if it was the little BB sized ones.
That's fair.
It's warm even in our house. I mean, we keep it at 76 degrees, which is warmer than we put up with in our house in Utah, but it's comfortable here.
Because houses are probably built different to accommodate like air and movement and stuff.
Pretty much concrete, has very high ceilings.
That's one of the things I noticed when I was working at intern at various historic buildings, is how cool they were, even with no AC, because they just built them different.
Yeah, they knew how to build them. They didn't know about AC, and so.
Well, they cared. That was a big part of their construction, was getting the cooling factors of the future. But AC makes everybody lazy. So they don't have to. It's probably cheaper. I don't know.
Yeah, but they built with the understanding they were building something that would last generations, whereas modern house buildings, because I worked construction to pay for college, it's like, if they have to rebuild it in 30 years, that's not my problem. That's somebody else. I'll be retired.
Yeah.
So this idea of enduring legacy with the buildings you build just isn't really a thing anymore. I think that changes it too, but that's a whole nother podcast. So, Nick. Sir.
Yes, sir.
Comic book maven. No, I don't know if maybe. I'm going to have to look that word up again. I forgot. Comic book guru for today. Then we'll go with that one. What are you drinking when you're watching a movie?
Oh, traditional movie theater type stuff. I do like a Dr. Pepper. Well, Diet Dr. Pepper now.
Woohoo!
So I can watch my blood sugar. The occasional glass of whiskey. Sometimes a beer, depending on the movie theater. But yeah, those are my drinks.
What kind of whiskey?
Right now I'm drinking Bullet.
Nice.
So technically it's a bourbon, but on that same playing field.
Okay, I was right. Maven is an expert or connoisseur. I did a quick Google.
It sounds feminine though.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about when I said it. I'm like, wait, is that like a feminine version of a word? No, but nope, not according to the dictionary. Google pulled me right to the Oxford Dictionary. So, and anything out of Oxford's got to sound smarter, right?
Oh yeah,
Right, that's how that works.
I don't know. The Beverage Scholars got it wrong in the movie.
That's
so.
right.
That's right.
Yeah. What do they know?
And to answer your question, Aaron, I've had several jobs. I was a Whack-In Hut security guard. I worked construction over the summer, worked at a gas station where I had to pump other people's gas. That's a miserable job. And I've done pipe fitting apprentice in the shipyard. But mostly it was manual construction jobs. The coffee shop jobs were during the school year because you could do that around your studying.
Yeah, because I just finished the practical application of Magic's podcast today, and you're talking about how you worked in the food service industry. I was like, if he was doing that, how is he doing construction too? I was like, how many jobs have you had?
So the food service industry, while I was in college, was part of the work study thing you do through the finance office. And so it was basically minimum wage while I was there. I mean, I'd worked other jobs in summer, but I stayed busy, 2-3 jobs at a time because sleep's for overrated. Or at least it was back then. Now I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make up for that nap I didn't take in 2020. That's sort of how it goes. Yeah, I'm just wondering why we didn't listen to our moms back when we were kids, because it's so much better than alternative. Like, man, mom was onto something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to play the commercial early today just so we can dive right into this topic. Jana has charged us with having an episode shorter than the movie we're reviewing, so we're going to go for that.
I like that.
So first, today we'd like to pause for a moment while we shamelessly shill for the woman.
Willow North is a thief, and despite her secret magical talent for sensing worked metal, she has never wanted to be anything else. But when her former fiancé appears on her doorstep with the 8-year-old King of Tremontaine, she is drawn into the political conflict surrounding the Boy King's ascension. His uncle, a powerful wielder of magic, murdered the old king and intends to kill young Felix. Willow means only to take the boy to safety, but she finds herself attached to Felix and unwilling to leave him once he is safe. But the pretender to the crown has a long reach, and as his men close in on the fugitives, it seems nowhere may be safe. Pretender to the Crown by Melissa McShane. Find it at Night Harbor Press or your favorite bookseller.
All right. Thank you for sticking with us through that commercial interlude. We recognize that voice. So, all right. So we're going to do a movie review today, dear listener. So we're going to go over the trailer, talk about the blurb, summary, ad copy, however you want to call it, the characters, the plot. We'll talk about the world building, the cinematography, and then we'll go over the movie posters and close out with our overall thoughts. So obviously today, if you read the title, we're talking about The Mummy, which was PG-13, directed by Stephen Sommers. Had a budget cost of $80 million, but earned in the box office $422.5 million. So I'd say that was a success for a duration of 125 minutes. It was released on May 7th, 1999, and distributed by Universal Pictures. The summary that you get from IMDb,
Well, hang on, JR. You need to define which The Mummy, because there have been several, and not everyone is going to go, oh, yes, the 1997 is the Brendan Fraser one. That's the one we're talking about, guys, not the really, really old black and white one, and not the newest monstrosity. We're talking about the one in the middle. That was the one that we liked. So
The good
now
There
you,
were several
now you
in the
make
middle.
The good one.
The good one, exactly.
the best one. But we have to be specific when we're talking about a retro movie where there are lots and lots and lots of them, and
Well-
they're all The Mummy.
Retro movie. I'm not old enough for that to be a retro movie.
Oh,
I was going to make a joke that the thumbnail will be the movie poster, but then I realized if they're listening to this on like the audio platform, they won't see that. So I stand corrected. All right, we're talking about the 1999 Brendan Fraser movie of pure awesomeness. All right.
Here we go. Now you may
That
continue.
aside, okay, now that I can continue, we're good. All right, so the summary from IMDb is that an archaeological dig in the ancient city of Hamunaptra, an American serving in the French Foreign Legion, accidentally awakens a mummy who begins to wreak havoc as he searches for the reincarnation of his long-lost love. So first, everyone's thoughts on that summary, because I think it meshes some stuff together on the timeline, and I'm not sure it sets the plot up in the best way. So the thing was never really asleep, so just anybody being near it would have gotten that reaction. That's why the sandstorms were already there. Officially, he wasn't awoken until they went into the dig.
Okay, but the teaser there has to sell the movie, and there's a lot of details that would make it more accurate that would also make it kind of tedious. It would be like your kid explaining to you the plot of the movie, where they go back and forth, and then they say, "Oh, but this happened," and "Oh, I forgot to tell you this," and that's not, that's not going to sell a movie. So I think they put too much emphasis on the city of Hamunaptra. Nobody knows that name. I mean, the viewers aren't going to know, and they won't care. So.
Yeah, I think the name was only mentioned a few times.
Yeah, and so they could have swapped that out for something a little more action-y. But then that's the other thing is, how are they selling this movie? Are they selling it as an action film? Are they selling it as horror? I know I didn't watch it for a long time because I thought it was a horror movie, like straight up horror, and I am a chicken, and so it wasn't interesting to me. And somebody had to make me watch it, and then
It's
I
a
was glad they
historical
did.
fantasy action
Yeah,
adventure
exactly. Yeah, exactly. And that's I think it's better to sell it that way than to say no, this is a horror movie. So I don't know. I don't know from that trailer or the teaser. I don't know what kind of a movie it is.
So to your point about Hymenoptera not being something everyone's familiar with, that's because it didn't exist until this movie came out because they made it
Right.
up in this movie.
Yeah, exactly. They're not going to know that name. I mean, when I'm writing blurbs for my books, I don't include names that the reader's not going to attach to because it's meaningless and it wastes space.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think that I think it's kind of bland. Actually, it's not specific enough.
I might have
Too
said City of the
specific in
Dead
ways.
instead of Hymenoptera.
Yeah, City of the Dead would be great. I'd
But
like
That
as
that.
an
least has
elevator
something
pitch,
to
it's
it.
serviceable.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Aaron.
it's fine.
Well, I was saying, like, if you use like the English name for it, it has like some draw to it of like, oh, what is the City of the Dead? Because like,
Yeah.
if you asked me before yesterday when I rewatched the movie what the name of the city is that the movie took place in, I don't think I could tell you because I didn't remember it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See?
Well, I am a history nerd, and I've been recently studying Egyptology for a project that I need to get back to. So for me, I was all over all the historical inaccuracies. But the most iconic and widely associated promotional tagline ad copy for The Mummy when it released in '99 was the "Death is only the beginning."
That's good.
Which I really, really like. I think that resonates really well. So
I agree.
Well, that's borrowed from the 1930s classic Universal Mummy also.
Yeah.
So
And
they
they
had a
do
little
quote
bit of
it.
a tie-in.
Yeah, they do quote it in this movie too. So
I think they
Yeah.
quoted a couple times.
yeah, it comes up a lot. It's on it comes up several times. I don't want to give you spoilers, but all right. So now that we're satisfied with the ad copy,
Spoiler: it's an 80-year-old movie. I mean,
well,
the original. Okay.
yeah.
All right,
I just
so
wasn't gonna do math. When I don't bother to do math, I just make up a big number.
We're just gonna roll with it. It works.
Yeah, it's fine.
No one's gonna
now
fact check you.
Now we're going to watch the trailer and see if this would have sold us. Now, keep in mind, dear listener, if you're watching this at home and for you guys on the panel, this actually takes the two trailers that were released at the time and it releases as a one like 4-minute video. So it'll do them back to back because there were actually two official trailers.
Mega trailer.
But Rotten Tomatoes, the website that does movie critiques, also catalogs a bunch of these trailers, and for their purposes for uploads, they just merge the two and they air them right after each other.
Many men have wasted their lives in the foolish pursuit of Hymenoptera. Most have never returned.
I think you found something.
I call it the doorway to hell. Oh my God, it does exist. You have unleashed the creature that we have feared for more than 3,000 years. Is the bringer of death. He will never stop.
This summer, Universal Pictures invites you on an extraordinary adventure beyond life and time.
Where did you get this?
On a dig down in Thebes.
Jonathan, I think you found something.
There is an ancient legend of a place known as the City of the Dead.
They call it the doorway to hell.
Where the earliest pharaohs were said to have hidden the wealth of Egypt. Are we going into battle?
There's something out there. Something underneath that sand.
They came to uncover its secrets.
Mummies, my good son. This is where they made the mummies.
They sought to unlock its treasure.
And then there was light.
Oh, boy.
What they did
Oh my God. It does exist.
I think this may be the Book of the Dead.
was unleash a force unlike any the world has ever known.
You must not read from the book! You have unleashed a creature that we have feared for more than 3,000 years. He will regenerate and no longer be the undead. We are in serious trouble.
On May 7th,
Can you swim?
If the occasion calls for it.
Trust me! It calls for it!
Universal Pictures invites you
His powers are growing. This just keeps getting better and better.
to experience the adventure
It appears he's already chosen his human sacrifice.
that will live forever.
If he turns me into a mummy, you're the first one I'm coming after.
The Mummy.
All right. So, what did everyone think of the trailers, 1 and 2?
Very
I
exciting.
like trailer 1 better. I felt like trailer 2 gives too much of the movie away.
Yeah, I agree. Of course, on the other hand, trailer 2 is more of an action adventure, and trailer 1 is more of the horror. I like trailer 1 better for the same reason, but it looks like they were trying it out for different audiences. I don't know how that works, but I mean the feel is just very different between the two.
Yeah. I like trailer 2. I like the action adventure. I like getting more hints of the humor. I don't mind what it shows me because what it's promising me is a rollicking ride, and that's what I want.
Trailer 2 had like 50% more Rachel Weisz, so
There is also that.
Who was the bigger name when this film? Was it Rachel or was it Brendan Fraser?
no.
I think
No,
it
it
was
was
Brendan
Brendan
Fraser.
Fraser. Rachel was an unknown.
Yeah.
She didn't really start breaking out till a couple of movies after that when she was Enemy at the Gates. She was in that, and then she started doing some like, more extensive
This
roles.
is her
But yeah,
breakout
this
as
was
far
her
as I'm
breakout.
concerned.
Yeah.
It was. I mean,
This
she did
is
some
when-
unknown stuff before, but like,
Yeah.
this is her big,
this is her
feature.
first big thing.
But this was during the all things Brendan Fraser years where we had him in
Yeah.
all sorts of stuff, George in the
All the
Jungle
movies.
and all the
Yeah.
movies. And I'm just fine with it because I find him tremendously funny as an actor. And
Mhm.
so it's like, yep, all the things.
This is
Yeah.
also the movie where he broke his neck and started having
Wait,
all
what?
this weight gain.
He did
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
They actually hung him in that scene.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that actually.
And it broke his back, and he was living with all kinds of pain and stuff like that. And that's kind of what led to his eventual weight loss or weight gain. That he,
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
So that stunt messed up and he got hurt? Wow, I didn't know that.
Hmm.
yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Interesting. Anybody else want to weigh in on the trailer before we move on?
So trailer 1, yeah, it was set up as a horror one. So it's kind of like they were trying to feel out the identity of that movie. So trailer 1 was definitely for like the horror fans or fans of the classic one. Trailer 2 was more of your Indiana Jones fans, your action adventure, you know, in the desert. And there was one of the lines that they used like 2 weeks after the movie came out on the advertisement said this was the movie that Indiana Jones fans have been waiting for. And I remember that because I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go see that.
Yeah.
Because we weren't anywhere close to getting to another
That's
Indiana
a
Jones
good
film.
tag. Yeah,
That's true. Yeah.
That's the one when I saw it. When I saw it on the TV, I was like, I know what I'm doing this weekend. I'm gonna go see this movie.
Yeah, and I wish I'd seen that second trailer because I would have gone to see it much sooner.
Okay. All right. So then we will move on and we'll talk about other parts of the movie. So, glad we could all agree on the trailer. It was a lot better trailer, I think, than some of the other ones we've seen as far as it goes. Like the lighting. Now, some of that is the older movies. It's hard to tell what they would have looked like on the original screen because HD is not as forgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this one, I still think the trailer aged well. So.
Yeah.
Okay. So what did you guys think of the main characters and who did you think they were when you watched it? Because I know sometimes we get different answers there.
Oh. I like all of them. I mean, even Benny, who's a weasel. Oh my gosh, he's a weasel.
He is actually
he
my
was a
favorite
fun
character in
weasel.
that movie.
Yeah, he was a fun weasel. He made everything kind of pop every time he was in there because I love to hate him, and he just really sold that role.
He had some of the best lines in that movie.
He did. He did.
Like, you're not going to run away with the others. Your strength gives me strength, and then he takes off running.
Then he goes,
And then
"You are my only friend.
You are my only friend." And then the when Imhotep becomes like the face inside the sandstorm, he's like, "That's really good what you did with the face."
Yes.
When they dropped him, he says, "I got to get a better job." Like he had a choice.
Yeah, like you're a weasel, dude. This is what you're born to do.
This is your job. I when I was looking at the cast, because we watched it in a format where it shows you the little pictures of all the actors that are in it, and you can click on that and go to see what else they've done. And I did not recognize him. It was he was older. It was a more recent shot of him, and he looks a lot more normal and a lot less like a weasel. So that was fortunate because I couldn't see him playing anything else. But okay, so Benny, but
well, Evelyn,
I hadn't seen Benny in any other movies until I was watching what was it? 11/22/63, the miniseries that came out, and he played the yellow card man. I was like, I recognize that guy. Who is he? And I looked at him, I was like, it's Benny. I didn't know what.
Yeah.
The only movie I'd ever seen him in that I know of was The Mummy.
Same thing. I was like, man, that guy looks really Weasley. Like, I've seen him before. And I'm like, off the IMDb. There he is.
But all the main characters are really great. I mean, even the ones that don't show up very often, like Ardith Bay. I mean, Oded Fair is just really cute. And I liked him. And of course, Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz, they have great chemistry. And John Hannah, who is one of my favorite character actors, in this is just he's really good, kind of like the good version of Benny. He's a good guy, he's honorable, but he's still kind of a weasel, but he uses it for good. Like every time he picks someone's pocket and comes up with that treasure box, I was cheering for him. So I like all of them,
Okay. I don't know. The one thing that character-wise, and these was a minor character, because the opening scene where you were talking about, Nick, was when they were at the Hymenoptera with the French Foreign Legion, and you don't really know why they're there, but the French Foreign Legion was all over the place in the 1920s. But when the officer just ran, like that is so counter to the lore in the historical record for the French Foreign Legion that it was like, wait, no, they don't run. Like you get a boot recruit and they have them run, I'll buy it. But they come up through the ranks. It's not like a commissioning program like most militaries are, because the French Foreign Legion is different. So that the officers, even the junior lieutenants, are seasoned soldiers. So the idea that this guy's been through, right? And so the idea that the officer is just going to scramble and run was just like, I mean, the odds weren't even that overwhelming if they put up a better defense.
Well, you're right, JR. It was historically inaccurate to have the French guy run. It is very in step with the French to run.
That's why they don't have, because most of
It's
the
the French Foreign Legion.
they're foreigners.
Yeah.
That's why it works. That's why they
Yeah.
don't run. They're foreigners.
Yeah.
But no, I just remember seeing the officer run, and I'm like, oh, come on. Could you make somebody else run?
Well, they had to so that he could take over, so that
Right.
Rick could be the leader.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's
kinda
true.
Promotion.
Yeah, they needed it. Yeah, another good Benny line.
But
Yeah.
one of the
Like I said,
nice
he's got the best
things here
lines in the
is
movie.
all the main characters have a very specific role and things that they do. And so you never feel like anybody is extraneous. And sometimes where you have this really is kind of an ensemble cast more than a specific. I mean, yes, Evelyn and Rick are kind of the main characters, but it's an ensemble cast. It's really important to have all those pieces. And they've done a good job with figuring out what do each of these pieces do and where do they fit. So you don't feel like there's anybody who is either missing or who doesn't really need to be there. Everybody clicks in really nicely together, and their chemistry is great. You believe brother and sister relationships. You believe that the different relationships really do work. So I like that. It was very, very well cast, and well written, that they were able to get those to bring those things out.
Yeah. Like I said, I liked the main characters. I liked some of the secondary characters just because they added flavor. So the Americans that were there, which was the quintessential cowboy accent, which is how the rest of the world views us, and it leaned into the Great Gatsby style of personalities for them. But I'm not an expert on the 1920s, so I'm going to just give that to them. Maybe that was the prevailing culture. So I like the secondary characters. What did you guys think of the? He didn't get much of a role, but the jailer, the guy that was in charge of the prison.
I thought he was funny.
Me too. He's like, I'm coming so you don't try to steal my money.
Yeah.
Oh, and he has excellent bargaining skills too.
Right. And then he's like,
smart.
what did he do? He when they were talking about Brendan Fraser's character.
30, 25, got it, done. And the look on Evie's face when she does it, Rachel Weisz was just completely all in on that, on the whole movie. I mean, she could have easily done the Hollywood thing where you're like, I'm too good for this movie, but her look of delight when she gets the better of him, and he's like, oh.
No, but then when we first meet our foreign legionnaire, and he talk about what he did, he had a really good time as the guards are like beating on him with sticks to try to control him, which instantly sets up, if you hadn't seen the Foreign Legion scene, like that instantly sets up that this guy's someone to be worried about, because it's taken 4 of them to control him and they're beating the crap out of him and he's still resisting. Like, even if the movie opened there, you still sold him as a badass.
He still has fighting. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a very good time.
Yeah.
He was in the house all the time.
Yes.
And for those of us in the infantry at a certain time, like that line came up a lot. That was right up there with "Have fun storming the castle." As far as lines.
You're not even a true infantryman unless you've been banned from like 3 towns.
It's true. Okay, so were there any other? Well, in this one,
they set up our antagonists really, really early too. We see what's going on with Oksana Moon and Imhotep right at the beginning, because we start with that shot from Cairo, where we find out, okay, there's a betrayal going on here, and there's all of these things, and it also sets a certain amount of sympathy, maybe, for these star-crossed lovers who can't have what they want, and how that's going to play through the rest of the movie. Even though they are the antagonists, it's one of those interesting questions of, they're definitely antagonists, but are they villains? And so it's an interesting question there, and they're well done.
But I thought it when I saw it the first time. I remember thinking it was like Romeo and Juliet, but darker, because of the twist.
Like if they killed other people other than themselves.
Yeah, but like
Juliet with the Book of the Dead.
Yeah, but like with I'm just gonna butcher
Moon.
Yeah, her, like when the pharaoh, who's all powerful in that religion, in that nation, says, "You're my mistress," you don't exactly get a choice. So she's kind of trying to make the best of a bad situation and find happiness, and of course, ultimately, that costs her life. So on the one hand, she's evil because she's set up as a bad guy, but on the other, you kind of feel sorry for her.
Yeah.
So that does get me some of the interesting historical tidbits about those main characters. So Imhotep was a real advisor to the pharaohs. Emperor Pharaoh Seti the First was also a real pharaoh, but they were like 500 or 600 years between the two. They would have never met.
We're not contemporaries.
Right. But I mean, like, they were real people. So they did, as far as that goes. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. So let's move on then. The setting was as much a character as the people. So what did you think of both the city of Hamunaptra, which was the city of the dead, and then Thebes, which is the main city that they're in?
Oh, beautiful settings. I mean, the whole thing was just gorgeous, all of it. And the contrast, I mean, you bring up the two cities, the contrast between the two, and yet they're still linked. I mean, you can see where Hamunaptra would have been this glorious city, and not just because they show it, in the first little bit. And it's just I thought the setting was really great. I mean, I have issues with the whole mirror thing that she pulled to light the interior. That would only work for like
To give them an
2
excuse
minutes.
to have a movie.
Yeah, that would only work for 2 minutes. But the interiors are gorgeous, and the city that as the meteors are striking, it's just I really liked that scene, and I'm not really sure why, except that it's this contrast between this modern city, as far as anybody's concerned, and this primeval destruction that's being rained down upon it. And I just kind of liked that image. That worked.
You
for
went
me.
full biblical on it, like with the deadly plagues and
all
all.
the different plagues that they had.
Yeah, I like the juxtaposition of like modern day city at the time, and then biblical plagues. The water turning red as blood. The locust.
No, it was
fire.
blood. That's why they spit it out.
Yeah.
The only problem is they have because it's set near Thebes, they have the pyramids as a background because it's iconic. You wouldn't actually see that from Thebes, different part of the country. But again, not everyone's going to notice that. They did get some of the vibes of ancient Egypt right, but like they're not painting themselves with gold body glitter. Although it was a good way to show that they'd been together, because the paint being smudged is a good visual indicator. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then they had a brief scene where they're carrying the kopeshes that are like broadsword size, and they didn't make them that big. There's not a single, I mean, in theory they could have, and it just didn't survive like everything else did. But like the historical record indicates they were a lot smaller weapons.
Yes.
And so this, cleave a house
would be intimidating.
Yeah.
This is true. I get why they did it. Just like the sword the Pharaoh uses that comes into play later, like Chekhov's gun with the bone handle and the blue. Like, it was a beautiful sword, but they would not have had a straight blade like that.
No.
So I thought it was.
To go on a little tangent about the weapons at the end of the movie, when Imhotep's going to try and stab Evie, did anyone else think that sword kind of looked like a giant pie slicer? Like if you're going to dish up an apple pie, like it was textured kind of like that.
Yeah.
As a kid, all the time, I was like, why is he going to stab her?
Ready to lay brick.
I kind of was. I kind of did not notice the weapon because I was looking at Imhotep, and he's pretty scary, and so that's funny. I didn't notice. I didn't notice what he was doing.
The guy had like 8-pack abs and was
he was.
It was because he was scary.
He was fit. Yeah.
And then the opening.
They just show his face at that point. So
we're all looking at Evie for intellect.
Right.
Yes. So the opening scene, because I absolutely hate camels. They're mean. They're meaner than llamas. But they have the camel outrunning the horse, and that just doesn't happen. Like, the horse is going to win every day of the week. Top running speed, like
long distances.
Yes. Neither one of those are designed. So camels are endurance animals. They will go long distances, but they will not run long distances. There's a difference between a run and a slow plod. Okay. They'll win in a slow plod long distance. They'll outlast a horse, but they won't outrace a horse. But I know why they did it, obviously, because they got their horses lost when the boat sinks.
Funny.
they needed rides, and nothing says Egypt in the desert like a camel. So like it was ambiance. They needed it.
So
But
horse has a top speed of 55 miles an hour, while a camel tops out at 40.
Okay. That's closer than I would have thought.
me too. I just knew they were off.
I figured it'd been like
that's
the Coyote
interesting.
and the Roadrunner type comparison.
Yeah, yeah.
I was disappointed when I grew up and I realized that was all a lie. The Coyote would win.
Hey, that's a lie.
Yeah, I know.
Roadrunners
Roadrunners
are fast. It's in the name.
clearly. Just like Greenland's covered in greenery.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Iceland's
But
covered in
Iceland
ice.
For the education.
Bastards.
but yeah, I like the characters as a setting. So we'll move on then from that, because I did think they did a really good job with the visuals. Speaking of the visuals, let's go ahead and look at the posters real quick just to knock that out since we're talking.
Okay.
All right, so this is the art from the original poster. It's really dark.
Yes.
I get this is more of a horror vibe image, but what do you guys think of the poster?
It made me
I
want to
remember
go
it
watch
being
it because that was the art on the VHS.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's on the DVD case too. It's got Brendan Fraser on it. I'm going to go see that.
So this is the one for the VHS and DVD. It's just darker, so I found it without the writing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to see the trailer again. But this is the art that was on some of the other artwork as posters. That this is the second poster, because they did some of them for a while. They would do the long ones, the wide ones instead of tall for some theaters, and this was their wide version. And I really like it. And it's got Imhotep in the back, larger than life. I think that would.
Got him looking like a scarecrow.
Yeah.
No, but I do like the overall.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think of the posters?
I like the topography.
Yeah.
I like him. It looks like Egypt, or idealized Egypt.
Yeah, and I will say this makes me remember the character we forgot to discuss was that British Royal Air Force
Winston,
officer, Captain Winston, I think.
With a smile on his face.
Winston. I was trying to find that gift to send to you, JR, the other day when we were talking about you catching up to reading. I couldn't find it, but I wanted to send you the Winston pedal faster, but instead of pedal, you read faster.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. I really liked him, although I had to do the math. So the main story was set in 1926, where the exploration is happening. So World War I had been over for about a decade. So for someone who had been a young fighter pilot, he did not look like it had only been a decade. But again, if he was an older guy going into World War I, it works. But the whole vibe of the disillusioned fighter who didn't get to die with his friends was kind of like Don Quixote-esque for me, but I liked it.
Well, also the desert isn't very friendly to your skin, so maybe it just aged him faster.
Yeah,
That and all the booze.
Right out.
That's hard drinking for you.
Oh.
Yeah, that's fair. He was a lush, so that'll do it too. And that's how they convinced him, ironically, was telling him how not safe it would be.
Yeah.
Everyone else has died. Why shouldn't you die?
That's great.
I thought that was great as far as like the character. So, all right. So we've covered the trailer, and we've covered the characters. Do you have any favorite secondary characters? We kind of lumped them all together, but were there any bit characters that really spoke to you?
I like Benny, and I like the advisor or the guy that the Americans had. The one that was just real misogynistic, and just the play. Off against.
I liked Evie's boss at the library, who was clearly concealing things when he burns the map. Oh no, oh my, and they're all stamping it out. But the curator, and
you could tell
his reaction
that he's like part of the Magi.
Yes,
they had
yes.
in
on it.
Well, when his reaction as an actor when he walks in, so the opening scene with Evie is her like knocking down domino style the entire library.
Not going to happen. I'm just
No,
telling you
because
right
you would
now.
bolt them to the ground, and
Yes.
generally speaking, each ladder would be hooked, so it would slide, but it would safety was a thing even back then.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But her reaction when she almost dies and kills the library was just oops.
Yeah.
This was just, and then he walks into that, and it's just hilarious.
And he says he would take any of the other plagues as long as he didn't have to deal with her anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of seems like this wasn't the first time it had happened.
Yeah.
Maybe not that particular thing.
Something
but
had happened. I'm pretty sure if she'd done it the first time, they would have bolted the shelves to the ground.
Yeah.
So they should have done in the first place.
Yeah.
And the setup is set up like, so like dominoes, it wouldn't be set up like that either.
No, not at all.
Just saying.
They tend to do square lines because it's easier to
Mm-hmm.
to reinforce.
Yeah.
But when I was working construction, we actually built a library, so I got to sit in on those planning meetings, and they expect idiots to be idiots, and so like we planned on someone's going to climb it because Susie Homemaker's not going to be watching her kid, and he's going to try to reach the top, and you got to make sure it's not going to top over when Johnny's sitting up there. So I don't think we're any better at construction.
In my library here, the section to the left of my head is 6 units, and they are bolted together in every conceivable way because they're freestanding. And you could knock them over, but it would take effort, and a kid climbing on them is not going to do it. And something that somebody who weighs what Evie probably weighed is not going to do it. But that's, I constructed and designed that myself so that it would not fall over. It's got a solid base, and so there. But of course, it's also bigger than any of those shelf units that she knocked over.
And there's a name for the character archetype where she was doing that, where she's like, "Oh, I'm so lovely, but look at me just ruin everything on accident." I've seen that. Yeah, Ditzy is how we describe it outside of the writing sphere. There's a name for that trope. But I don't know. I thought it worked in this case because then you see her later get to see that she's more than just that. I thought that worked really cool.
Well, and for me at least, seeing all those shelves go down, I'm thinking, who is going to clean that up?
Yeah.
It's going to have to be her, and it's going to take forever.
Well, that following scene I thought was kind of funny because she's like, Ahmed, whatever the other guy's name is, like Bob. Like, why is there a Bob? Like, everyone else has an Egyptian name. Why is the one guy she's looking for named Bob? I thought it was funny, but it doesn't fit at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Egypt was very cosmopolitan at the time because of the archaeological gold rush, if you will.
Coming in.
Yeah, so there were archaeologists, there were academics, there were salespeople looking to buy the exotic things and import them everywhere. So yeah, it didn't surprise me that there would be a Bob there. Like that part didn't bug me at all.
It's one of the American cowboys.
It didn't bug me. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Middle Eastern name, Bob.
But what did you guys think of the cinematography, of the way they shot the film?
I thought awesome. It was really good, and you could keep track of things like the river scene where they're fighting on the boat. There's a bunch of jump cuts, but you can kind of figure out how to draw a map of where everyone was based on how the camera panned and jumped to the next guy, as opposed to like some of the Michael Bay Transformer movies. There's so many jump cuts, you don't know who's who and where they are.
Yeah, which always makes me sad.
Yeah. But no, they did a really good job on this one.
Yeah, I did a lot more jump cuts than I would normally like, but it didn't make me dizzy. So like that's the cutoff line. Like if you go full Blair Witch, I'm just not watching the movie.
I haven't seen that one. Yeah. You can't pay me to see that one.
Yeah, the shaky cam though, it like with my head injury,
yeah.
If I'm gonna get motion sickness, I want to be on a roller coaster. I don't need to sit on my couch and do it. But yeah, I liked the way it was shot. I didn't have any complaints there. Anybody else want to weigh in, or you want to move on?
No, I think it was beautifully shot. You guys talked about the jump cuts, and it was mostly during the fight sequences, which were great. Aaron brought up that you could kind of map out where everybody was on the boat, and they did a good job with that.
I know.
It flowed very well.
I think one of the things they did really well, and Jana's background made me think of it, they did a good job in the way they cut the scenes of giving you time to just pause for a second and appreciate the beauty of where they were filming, like the Egyptian settings and stuff.
Yeah.
And so
how
I
vast
think,
it was.
Yeah. And I think it was lit really well too. I mean, the riverboat scene, it's nighttime, but everything was really bright and clear. You could see who everybody was. It wasn't murky. And then, down below, everything's lit really well. Even though, all they have is torches. I don't care. I want to be able to see. I'm not interested in accuracy. And I thought it was lit really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to give them props for is they didn't have the infinite Hollywood ammo perk on. Like they actually had to reload. And ran out of ammo.
Speaking of reloading, the idea of just throwing your weapons away while you're running is so pissing me off. I'm like, first off, if you're still in the French Foreign Legion, you got to turn that stuff over to the armory. And two, you might get a lull in the action to reload. You can't reload a weapon you threw away. It takes 5 seconds to put it back in the holster.
I can give Rick the benefit of the doubt of dropping the 6-shooters and pulling. I'm assuming it was a 1911 because the year would kind of make sense.
Yeah,
and I didn't count to make sure they didn't have extra bullets, but like I could get him dropping the 6-shooters for that. But when Evie's brother pulls guns and then throws, like,
and he throws the gun.
You could have just ran off and reloaded.
Well, that's just supposed to show that he's not a fighter. That's just supposed to show that he doesn't know what he's doing, and is, which is funny because in the sequel he's supposed to be a sharpshooter.
Maybe he learned in the meantime. It's like a wake up, come to Jesus moment for him.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like 8 years later, so yeah.
I mean, you could develop skills in that time, and I could see that being a transformative experience. I'm giving it to him, but throwing the weapons.
Yeah, that really threw me that he's hucking the weapon at him. That's not going to do any good.
I mean, I gave him a pass at the opening scene because it's a last stand scenario at the point that they're overrun, but it was done more than once.
Yeah,
and that's what like I'm just like, no, you don't treat your weapons that way. If you're nice to them, they're nice to you.
Yes.
So what did you guys
back
think?
to the filming, like how they shot it? One other thing that kind of stood out that I didn't dislike, but you could tell what scenes were meant to be the 3D scenes for the theatrical release. Like they were filmed purposely to be the 3D scene. Like when they're he's fighting the Pharaoh's guard mummies, and he pops one of the heads off. He's bobbling around, and he hits like a baseball. It comes right at you. Like that one was definitely meant to be a 3D scene. The face in the sand was a 3D scene.
So Nick could confirm this one, but I use the mummies sandstorm scene as a visual to tell people what it's like to live through a sandstorm. Because take the face out of it, that is what they call it, the whispering death, because he kills so many people. In Arabic, it sounds prettier, but because like if you don't have closed loop heating and cooling systems, that sand gets in your house, and if you're really young or really old, it's bad for your lungs, and it kills a lot of people every year. But that's a good representation, I thought, as far as what a sandstorm looks like. Which is why it irked me when they were, riding in the plane on that sandstorm and they don't have their goggles on for part of it. I'm like, no, you have never been pelted by like super speed freaking sand.
Poor corneas just getting shredded.
I got an eye scratch from the sandstorm once, the first time I didn't get my specs on in time. And it took 10 years for that thing to heal. That is no joke.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's the same reason that Captain America very often loses his helmet, and almost everybody who has those kind of face coverings in movies, they have a tendency to have them pulled off because we can see the expressions better. And so you have to give a nod to the cinematography to be able to say, well, we want that connection, so we show the faces.
JR, who wasn't wearing their goggles in the sandstorm?
One of the characters strapped to the wing, I want to say it was the brother.
The brother had his on in the first scene when he turns to him, asks him how he's doing, and he's not having a good time. And then the other guy has his on and doesn't respond because he's having such a great time.
Artist is wearing his the whole time, and he's just grinning like a
Connell
madman.
was the only one that wasn't, and that's when he was shooting the gun. But when the sandstorm came up and started to take over, he pulled his goggles down, and
he dropped them.
Winston was wearing his the whole time.
Yeah.
All right, I seem to remember watching it, but that could just be me. I had that note written from the first time I saw it. So
Yeah.
it's possible I remembered it wrong. It's possible that they've fixed some of that with the various editions that have come out.
And you're working out trauma. We'll give you a break.
Yeah, the sandstorm though is miserable. So they did a good job of showing what that looks like. I think as far as
I think one of the strengths of the movie is that it's just got such fantastic visuals.
Yes.
It is a visual treat. It's a sandstorm. It's the locations. It's the cinematography. It's the digital effects. It's 1999, I don't know how much CGI they did. I know I saw a making of where they showed the scene where the mummy eats the scarab that's crawling on his face.
Goes into his cheek.
Yeah.
And it's part acting and part digital effects, but it's seamlessly integrated and done in a way that doesn't say, "Look at me, I'm a visual effect." Right? You're in it, and it's pure action adventure. You're in it the whole way, and it's completely immersive, and yet it's gorgeous. Somebody went out of their way to make that thing just pop, and I love. It's one of my favorite things about the movie is it's just such a treat to watch.
Yeah, like the CGI, I think held up pretty good. Like,
Very well.
The bug scenes, some of the bug scenes weren't super great to today's standards, but that scene where the jailer gets eaten by the bug freaked me out as a kid. It still gives me the creepy collies that I have to look away during that scene because I'm not messing with that stuff. I hate bugs.
Uh-huh.
So for the record, real scarabs are not going to eat through you, but that was an artifact of the movie. But I loved it, and so I know some of the people on the Reddit forums about this movie because I looked to see if there's anything worth noting. Went off on it. I didn't care. I liked it. And the other one was the curse of the Hamudai, which is what they did to Imhotep. That is not real either, but it still was cool artifact as far as the world building.
If I'm in my rational moments after the movie's over and I've eaten my popcorn, I'll think those priests were kind of idiots for creating a world-ending plague just because they were mad at somebody.
I think it was more of a threat. I don't think they ever actually intended to use that curse. It was more of a threat, and then they're like, "Oh well, we kind of said we needed to do this, so we're going to do it. Hope nobody digs this dude up in 3,000 years."
Yeah, well, I hope nobody digs this, but I hope nobody ends the world. I mean. There's all these dire warnings in the books that they're reading. Oh no, don't just. And they've got the Magi dedicating their lives to this. I mean, I have to see this. Think the Magi are in their back, in their kitchen, going, "Man, our ancestors were dicks."
Didn't they just kill him?
Why didn't they just kill him?
Why did they set up this nuclear bomb that's going to go off and bring the plagues to the world just because? Well, I mean, come on. Kill him. Get it over with.
They also spent 3,000 years protecting it to keep it from getting out. Why didn't they just dig up the book and go move it to where they couldn't find it?
Yeah.
They said it would be under dude's feet. Dig it up. Go put it under.
Go hide it somewhere else.
So it's not even the same spot it's supposed to be.
Right. And this time don't give a map to where it is.
Ooh, how tricky.
Yeah.
So this is more of a plot point, but we're going to, since you mentioned it, the Mehadin, the Arabic guards, former bodyguards to the Pharaoh, the modern ones, they know the lore. Whoever opened it is the one that's going to feed their body into Imhotep's rebirth. They knew who those people were when they're in the city. Why didn't the Mehadin just ice the ones that had opened it? Why protect them? Just boom, boom, boom. 3 bullets in the head. There's nothing for this Imhotep to reclaim. Problem
exactly, because they brought it up later about is a few innocent deaths worth stopping the creature, and they both turn to him and say yes. Well, why didn't you do it before it became an issue?
Right.
Yeah, that's one of the things when I watched it the first time, I'm like, just shoot the Americans, which sounds really bad, but that's how they were referred to in the movie.
Yes.
How many movies have that as a plot? Just shoot the Americans.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, so I thought that was interesting. So What did you guys think of the world building, setting up both the myth that they added to Egyptian history and all that followed it as a consequence for the plot of this movie?
Oh, I think they make it sound just plausible enough that you have to wonder, like using Seti the First and Imhotep, who were real people, and using the pyramids and using the Egyptian gods, and so there are just enough details that are accurate that they then go slot in all this other stuff that they totally made up, and if you don't know, it sounds plausible. It all hangs together really well. And I think that's what makes it so interesting, even though, and we've been going through here, and I think this is interesting, that we've been going through and saying, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? And yet we all still love the movie. And I think that's really important, because there are a lot of things that I've seen where picking it apart means there's nothing left of it, and it ruins the enjoyment. But this is like, well, I can give them a pass on that. I can give them a pass on the ancient Egypt. I think they set up the world building really well. They made you like even Anaxunamun's stupid painted on outfit, that it looked like something Pharaoh might make his mistress wear, So I think that all the little details they put in that were made up fit with the real details really well.
Yes.
Yeah,
and the
And right from the
characters, the
beginning of the
interaction.
movie.
Go.
Right from the beginning of the movie, they set up the lore.
Yeah.
And one of
the
the things I
rules.
remarked to Melissa on our recent rewatching is that Rachel Weisz just and Brendan Fraser, they sell it. They're having a good time in an action movie, but they never smirk at the camera. They never break character. It's just they deliver the lore and the bullshit in the exact same. I bought it. I'm willing to go along with it. I mean, Evie's delivery of her expositionary lines is just, oh, okay, sure, why not? And with that hint that she loves being able to tell them stuff like that is just, immersive to me.
Well, and that he listens and treats her like an expert. So you have this really fun, there's a romance there, but beyond the romance, they're both filling roles within this action adventure thing. And it does kind of remind me of Indiana Jones, because you get that between Indy and Marion in the first movie, where yes, there's definitely chemistry and romantic tension, but they're both there because they are good at things and because they serve a role. And here they're both good at things, and they're both allowed to be good at things, and she admires the things that he's good at and he admires the things that she's good at, without there being any sense of, well, I'm better at this than you are. And so that sells it. And to have Jonathan there, it's that continual thing of, I'm really interested to know what's going to happen to these people. And even if there's a lot of things I can nitpick out of it, I don't care. I just want to go on an adventure with them because they're awesome. And that's why the nitpicking doesn't bother me in the slightest, because I want to go on that trip with them, whatever it is.
Yeah, when the mummies that were the king's Pharaoh's guard roar at Brendan Fraser, and he just roars back.
Yeah.
Oh, it's scary.
And he did it with such, like, it didn't feel like he was mocking it or breaking the fourth wall,
Right.
a la Deadpool.
Exactly.
It just felt like it was in the moment, and I really dug that.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll scream
Yeah,
back at
I
you.
like
What do you got?
I like those two scenes because Imhotep roars at him and he roars back. It's like that kind of fits the American, like, you can't scare me, I'm gonna try and scare you back. And then it kind of worked with Imhotep, so he tries to do it to the Pharaoh's guardsmen. The guardsmen do it back to him. He was like, well, that's not gonna work. There's 3 of them and 1 of me. I'm gonna run.
I think
And just having them run around the whole like burial area was kind of funny. All of like Scooby-Doo going in and out of the different doors and the monsters chasing each other. Like, it was funny. Like, it was still kind of serious, but it had comedy to it.
Yeah. Any other world building ideas that sort of really popped for you guys?
No.
So one of the things that I noticed, and if you look at the write-up, they mentioned this specifically, they hired Egyptologists and Egyptian language experts. So the parts that were where they were using the language were right. which added to the ambiance enough that you were willing to go with it when they got to the parts they just made up, like the blades that didn't exist, like the curse that didn't exist. Hamunaptra was a combination of several concepts from Egyptian mythology. And so, like, I thought they did a really good job on that. And that's one of the things when I would ask James when I was working on that project, which is why I've been studying Egyptology again. I would ask him about something Egypt, and he goes, "Okay, which one?" Because it was like 7,000 years of Egyptian history, so everything had reinvented 3 or 4 times. And so I think they leaning into that, they still gave you the vibe of Egypt, even if the details were wrong.
Yeah.
Well, and the details aren't wrong. I mean, that's the thing, is they're not wrong, because what they created was a fantastical Egypt. This isn't historical fiction.
Correct.
It's totally historical fantasy. And that's what I love, is that they sold it strongly enough that I'm willing to believe in the world where this Egypt exists. And so I don't end up comparing it very much to, as I'm watching, to real Egypt, to real history, because they've sold me a world where this is what it is. It's like all the fantasy books that are some kind of version of medieval England, but they're their own particular version. That's how I see this, is that it's historical fantasy. It pulls on those things, and then it creates its very own mythos, and I'm good to go with it.
So one of the things they did, speaking of some of the tropes, is, growing up in the 70s and 80s, and I wasn't around in the 70s, but like everything was quicksand this and quicksand that. You really thought quicksand was going to be a huge problem. So when that plane crashed in this movie set in 99 or filmed in 99, and it gets swallowed by the quicksand, quicksand? His reaction to that was just so perfect, like that it was there. I don't know. I thought that kind of sold into the vibe for what they were doing. Like the nod to the audience, I thought was kind of fun.
Well, I know growing up, I thought quicksand was going to be a much bigger problem in my adult life.
Yes.
Yeah. All the old cartoons I would watch, and quicksand's a big thing, and I haven't seen quicksand once.
Nope.
Yeah.
Clearly, we're just better at avoiding it. But yeah, I really dug that they got enough of the vibe right that the historian in me says, "Wait, let me look this up."
In 99, we didn't have smartphones, so it's not like when we watch movies today, especially a historical piece where we're on our phones going, "Well, this kind of seems like bullshit."
I don't know about that. Yeah.
No, we just were in for the ride, and it was great. It was so great that they're making a 4th one, and bringing back
I'm excited about.
So.
Yeah, but I'm the guy, like when I watched the Halo series and they had the Halo Until Dawn movie, and they had the scene where they first see the purloined video of the aliens. I'm the one who watched it 9 times so I could pause it just right to see the reflection in the glass of the helmet and realize they had the wrong number for a Spartan that didn't exist yet. Because I'm like a nerd. I know. So like,
I am never watching anything with you,
especially not with guns or the military.
Stab you.
Like the guns in the military.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought they did
watch War Machine. Ugh.
We gotta get on the books. Although this is a buffer episode, dear listeners, we've had a couple people cancel that we've scrambled to fill. But given that, we just put together some of our closest friends, and this is going to sit until we need something, which is why we're sort of joking around about it. But so you probably have seen the War Machine movie review before you watch this one.
Yeah.
But, all right. So what did you guys think of the plot, the concept of the fated lovers and the curse of the mummy?
Oh, I got no complaints about the writing here. I mean, this is really solid. Everything flows together right. They hit all the right beats at the right time. And it does work kind of as a horror movie. I mean, I'm not an expert, but, in terms of what I see as a horror movie, they got all the creepy jump scares and they got all this stuff. So it's not real. I mean, I'm really with Nick. This is historical fantasy, but if you were going for horror, you wouldn't be totally disappointed. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know for sure, but in terms of the plot, I think it works either way, which is pretty remarkable.
I thought it was a great genre bash because there are horror elements in there. Not enough where I'd call it a horror movie.
Yeah.
It was definitely an action adventure flick. And I think they merged very well. So whoever wrote this, and so the whole team. So the writer, the director, cinematographer, all those guys really came together and put out this really great movie that we still talk about 30 years later, and are anticipating another one, which is great. You know, so it's definitely going to be it's a franchise. It's survives the test of time. The CGI keeps getting better and better. You know, because
one of the things they did in building this story is they made the female main character competent, fun to watch, and they didn't try to make her a man. So she's not competent by just pretending she's a dude with lady body parts. She was competent because she had her own unique skill set with her, her ability to do things even Cambridge College couldn't do when she was talking about reading the hieroglyphics and stuff. Even doing it under pressure, because that's translation's one thing. Translating when there's someone trying to stab you, a whole nother deal. Right? So I really loved that they made her competent and smart and like a badass without trying to make her just be a dude who kicks everyone's backside. Like that wasn't her skill set. No, she was not. I like that. That made her more believable for me. Because if we're talking pure like physicality, I'm not saying a woman can't beat a man, but they're going to fight differently than a man to do it because they've got to make allowances. And so most of the time movies don't do that because it's generally speaking like a guy trainer training them all the fight choreography. So like I liked the way they within the overall plot, they made her extremely competent, even though she was the lovable ditz, without trying to make her a dude, which I really appreciated.
So that brings up okay, maybe this is off topic, but have you seen the second movie?
I have.
Okay, does that fit for her there too? Because they make Evie, they do that past scene where they're fighting. I love that fight scene in the second movie where
she's the embodiment of Nefertiti.
Yeah,
it flows. That scene, the choreography just flows so well, and it's got an emotional arc during the fight scene. It's just a really
I still think that works because there are women swordsmen historically. If a woman is going to fight a dude, she's got to fight with speed as her and agility because she can be faster than. She can have better hand-eye coordination. Women actually do at repetitive motion tasks, just on aggregate. She's just not going to go toe-to-toe with a 6-foot-tall bruiser with a broadsword and her own broadsword. So I think the fight scene worked. It was definitely a martial arts, whether women did it then or do it now. It looked believable enough with the way they moved that it didn't look like something a woman couldn't do.
Yeah.
Right.
So I thought it worked still. The second one rolled into the first. I don't feel like later movies. I haven't seen the Tom Cruise one, but I don't feel like the other ones crapped all over the lore. So I think they still built on what was there, which I appreciate in a franchise.
Well, what was great about this is that it tried to be its own thing, and it also gave a lot of tips of the hat to the 1930s Universal. Well, they're both Universal, but like the original one with Boris Karloff. So even the villain's name's the same. A lot of the same plot points are kind of there. We just kind of threw it into an action adventure realm, and it was really cool.
So Nick, one of the lines you pulled up from the movie that I thought was pretty funny. You want to tell us what you found, or why you listed it?
Which one?
What harm?
Oh, that's from the movie.
I know.
So before she opens the book, she's like, "Oh, I'm reading a book. Like, what harm has ever come from reading a book?" And that's what sets this whole damn thing off.
Yeah,
I caught that one too.
It's a little bit of foreshadowing irony, where she's like, "Oh, whatever harm ever came from reading a book?" And that dude wakes up. He's like, "No, don't read from the book. Read the book.
You must not read from the book."
But see, what gets me with that guy, the one thing that got me with the guy that says you don't read from the book, they also said don't open this tomb because it's bad, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't care, open the tomb."
Yeah.
It felt a little out of character.
The one thing that got me with that guy is he said you mustn't read from the book, but he couldn't even open up the book because he didn't have the key.
Yeah.
So how did he know you mustn't read from the book? Did it say it on the outside somewhere?
And why is he opening?
That was the lore.
To read.
That was the lore surrounding it, that you shouldn't read from that book. And it's funny because he was trying to open it, and so if he knew that you weren't supposed to read from the book, what was he doing? I don't know what was going on there. Yeah.
Or was he just jealous that she got to read the book before he did?
I don't know.
Well,
he's a misogynist. It was probably that too.
Just as a
So,
good general rule, if it's called the Book of the Dead, you probably shouldn't read from it.
Yeah. So that was the
What?
other one was the when you talk about this, they leaned into that. They're like, oh, well, they're digging over here, but should we follow them? The one cowboy with the glasses, the American with the glasses, and that guy was like, nah, what does a woman know? And they just went and did their own thing.
Yeah.
Which I could appreciate. So, all right. Since we've covered that to death, and we are approaching the hour 20, what did you guys think overall of this movie? And then we'll wrap it up.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Probably one of my favorite.
I loved it as a kid. I still love it now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
Rewatch
family
it there.
favorite. We watch it as a family now.
Mhm.
I mean, we all enjoy the movie. When we told the kids we were going to be watching the movie, they all the ones who were staying with us, popped popcorn and joined us for the fun. It's a family
Hell yeah.
favorite. We watch it.
Yes.
We rewatch it all the time. It's still a kick-ass good time. That's all.
I would say
And
at least
they
once a
informed
month
me.
we watch it.
They informed me that it's a Sunday activity. I was unaware of this until they told me that it's a Sunday activity. And we were watching it with our one daughter who has seen it many, many times and was quoting most of the movie. But the other half of the time, when she wasn't quoting the movie, she was pretending it was a role-playing game and saying things like, I want to roll sleight of hand. The guy's on fire. Are you sure? Yeah, I want to roll sleight of hand. And she was making us laugh because we were all very familiar with the movie, but that was like a fun added dimension. So
She failed her roll for initiative at Hamanoptera.
That's right.
That's what
Totally failed that.
I would so listen to a podcast with her doing that for various movies. It would be hysterical.
She is very funny that way. She's got a good sense of humor and good sense of timing.
And you're not biased at all.
Of course not.
Oh, hey, I'll give you the time I knew that she'd grown into her own masters when we were watching Sherlock Holmes, the TV show, and there's the scene where Sherlock is interrupted by the bigwig, and he doesn't care. He just wraps a sheet around him, and during the course of the scene, the sheet ends up falling, and Aaron turns to me, just deadpans, no sheet, Sherlock. That's her level of comedic timing.
Which TV Sherlock is it?
The one with Benedict
Cumberbatch. The one that made Benedict Cumberbatch into a household name.
Yeah,
Okay.
the British one.
All right.
Anyway.
One with Cantaloupe Saddleback.
What about you, Jacob? What did you think overall of this movie?
Fantastic. 10 out of 10. I'll watch it again. I'll bring the family.
Okay. Jana? Or do you want to let Jenna answer this one? I never know.
Oh, they're in great agreement. It's a wonderful movie. It's one of those that my daughter is now old enough that I think that she and I will have to sit down and watch it because I think at this point she would find it just as amusing as I do. But yeah, it's a favorite. I go back to this frequently. I like the franchise. I like there are a few that are a little bit weird later when we get The Rock as the Scorpion King. That's some CGI that could use some help, but the stories are what bring me back, and I want to go again. I want to go on adventures with these people, so I'm happy to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Melissa?
I never get tired of watching this movie. It's so much fun, and it's really satisfying to see a librarian hot chick. Because I'm a librarian and I used to be a hot chick when I was young, and so I really like that. I like her standing there all drunk and proud saying, I am a librarian, and she's just so proud of that, and I love that for her. And it's just yeah, totally. And so yeah, I never get tired of watching this. It is up there, one of my very favorite movies.
I remember when I had cable, it was on TNT every Sunday, so I get it's a Sunday activity.
That's
and every time it's on TNT, sit down and watch it.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Aaron, overall thoughts before we wrap this podcast?
10 out of 10. probably watch it next month.
Okay. I really enjoyed it as well, even with the historical inaccuracies. I found I just didn't care because it was a rip-roaring good time. I wanted more of the backstory of the RAF pilot just because he was kind of funny. Like, I don't know. That character just amused me for some reason, so I wanted more. But he got a cool death scene. So he died with a smile on his face, and, you know, unlike this past year.
I'd watch The Amazing Adventures of Winston. I'd watch that.
Yeah, what's that? You know, you want to die, like your grandpa with a smile on his face, not like everyone else in the car with him. That kind of joke was personified by that death scene. You know, as he crashes. And they didn't have the plane crash, and then for no reason have an explosion that wouldn't happen.
Yeah,
which I thought was kind of cool.
Consumed by the desert.
I loved it was consumed by the desert. It's so perfect.
Yes, it was a good metaphor. All right, and with that, Melissa, where might we find you on the wild interwebs?
Well, my website is melissamcshane.com, and my storefront, where you can buy print books, ebooks, and eventually audiobooks, is at nightharborpress.com, including the books you saw in the commercial. And I have a Discord server that is a lot of fun, and I think that's really where I'm active these days. I've kind of fallen off Facebook, and I'm an infrequent poster on Twitter X. But there you go.
All right, Jana, if we wanted to stalk you on the wild interwebs, where might we go?
Well, I am the loser of Internet Hide and Go Seek, so if you look for either of my two pen names, Jenna S. Brown or Jenna Ray, we don't talk about the other pen names on this show, and do search for those, they're related to publishing, they're probably me. You can also find me at Linktree, linktr.ee/Opal Kingdom Press, and that links to that links to all sorts of stuff, and you can find more information over there.
All right, Jacob, just like last time, since you are not an author, but you do want them to buy all of your wife's books, do you have a favorite of the books she's written?
You want me to commit suicide? What are you talking?
Well, you could say you like all of them, but you love one of them just a little bit more.
I do like all of them, and I do love, but it's by mood, so it changes all the time. So whenever I'm asked that question, I spend like 15 minutes going, well, then there's this, and then there's this.
Okay, that's a fair answer. So what are you reading at the moment then?
At the moment, I'm stuck in online hell. I'm just reading tons of fan fiction stuff because I apparently have no taste.
Oh, good.
Don't read that wrong. Melissa's a great author. And,
wait a minute, what?
He said he had no taste because he's reading online, but
I know.
And then I realized that reflected poorly on things.
Yeah, thank you.
Jacob, if I hand you a shovel, will it be better or worse?
Yeah, I'm obviously not medicated right now.
Nick, where might we? I'm going to ask you to save Jacob from himself and tell us where we might stalk you.
I don't know if I could throw him a rope, but I don't think it's going to help.
No.
You can find me on all the social medias: the Instagram, the Facebook, the X, Apogee Comics, for all of those. Nick Garber Art for Instagram and Facebook. If you want to come to my website and buy some comic books, that's cool too. apogeecomics.com, and we'll have some new statues, figurines, if you will, that will be posted.
Action figures.
They don't move, so there's not a whole lot of action unless that action is just stand there and look cool.
Okay.
So do you sell prints as well?
Not on the website, but we'll probably be doing that pretty soon because we don't have a whole lot of prints. Those really didn't sell for us at cons. Usually it's the comics and
So you did the art for the Clash of Steel, the tank and mech anthology we did, and I have had people ask if they could buy that art as a print with your signature, because it's obviously we tell people you did it. I have always told them to go to your website, so I should tell them to go to you directly then?
Yeah, just message me directly. I got to turn it into a print without all the nice words over the cover and all the typography that I put on there. Yeah, I'd be more than willing to make prints out of that and sell it, autograph it.
Cool.
No
cool.
charge on the autograph.
It's like very classic 80s style, which is why we liked it, because all of our early ones were all retro vibe covers. All right, so Aaron, where can we stalk your fishing adventures, and then what are you reading?
You can stalk me at bigwater_outdoors on the Instagram, the Facebook, and YouTube, and TikTok. And right now, I'm just started book 6 of the War Master series.
Okay.
Yes.
I am.
His commentary has been really great on the Discord. It's been fun to hear what he thinks. So I'm enjoying
Yeah, I've been loving this series. I can't wait for the cookbook to come out.
that. That's right.
We could do that.
We could.
Because my diet, the rate my diet has fallen off, and the number of War Master books I've read are proportionate.
You know, I had to meet with my nutritionist, and I fell off the wagon just a little bit, and he asked me why. So I dropped my second copy of War Master 1 on the way out the door.
Yeah, because I started reading the book, and I was down to 280, and I weighed myself the other day, and I'm up to 288. So I'm blaming Melissa.
Okay, it's my fault. Sorry, guys.
All right.
Right, the food's so good, it wouldn't be an issue, but it makes you want to go find the food.
Me too. What makes it bad is when I make myself hungry for something I can't get in India, and then I am really stuck.
Oh yeah, that would blow. I'm with
It's
you
not
there.
good. Baked potatoes, not a thing.
Second breakfast. Baked potatoes. All right, you can find us, dear listener, on our Linktree, linktr.ee. Linktree/Blasters and Blaze podcast. Again, Linktree/Blasters and Blaze podcast, where we link to all the things, the BitChute, the Rumble, the YouTube, the TikToks. We've got our Spotify, our Twitter, our Discord, our Blasters and Blaze Facebook group and Facebook page. You can email us at blastersandblazepodcast@gmail.com. Again, blastersandblazepodcast@gmail.com for professional purposes only, people. Save the shenanigans for Madam Stabby Stab. Save the shenanigans for Madam Stabby Stab over there on the Instagram, the Twitter, and the email. You can support the show by going to buymeacoffee.com/author Handley. Again, buymeacoffee.com/author Handley. Be sure to put in the comment section that it's for the podcast. And I promise I will keep my co-hosts duly caffeinated. They will drink that coffee brand coffee, tea, and hot chocolate until they get high on their own supply. If you want some of that coffee brand coffee, the link is in the show notes. The discount code is Podcast Grunts. You get 10% off. We get a little bit of a kickback. It's a win-win, people. And as we remind you, these episodes aren't free to produce, so we do appreciate your patronage. Every little bit helps keep the lights on. It's not an exorbitant cost to run a podcast, but the programs we use do cost a little bit of money every year, so we do appreciate you throwing a few bucks here and there. With that, I would like to thank you for spending some of your precious time with us. For my crazy co-host, I am J.R. Handley, and this was the Blasters and Blaze podcast. We'll be back next week at the same time. We'll indulge our love of nerd culture, cheesy jokes, and all things that go boom. With that, we're going to hit the end button. Wait for it, and